Now, there have been reactions to a policy by the federal government to sort of use public funds to set up RUGA farming settlements for herdsmen in 12 states. And, well, rather 12 states across the country have rejected this. Now, 3 major socio-cultural organizations in Benue State described the policy as a renewed plan to take over the people's land and give it to Fulani of West Africa in the name of settlement for herdsmen. The protesting groups have vowed to resist the construction of the settlements. Don't forget, the protesting groups cut across 12 states of the Federation. We have more on this story as we're being joined by the spokesperson of the Arewa Consultative Forum, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim, who joins us live from Abuja. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I would like to begin with this controversy that has been generated by this plans, alleged plans, reports of plans to set up RUGA settlement across the country. First, I'd like to ask you, have you heard anything about this so-called RUGA settlement, and what do you think about it?
Well, RUGA settlement has been in existence since time immemorial. RUGA is a settlement of the Fulani herdsmen that has been around for a long time. And in fact, anywhere they move in search of grazing land for their cattle, they always establish what is called RUGA, that is a settlement. And I believe strongly that this is not something new. This is something that has been in existence for long. And what, in my opinion, or my understanding, is that the federal government wants to improve this RUGA settlement in order to bring in peace and peaceful coexistence between the farmers and the herdsmen. And whatever it will take for us to have peaceful coexistence in Nigeria. And I think if the federal government comes out with such a policy, it's only logical for us to look at the merits and the demerits of such policies,
right,
and then try to accept. But a situation whereby anytime government comes out with a policy or programs, instead of us to sit down and analyze situations, then the next thing we jump and start drawing conclusions.
Okay.
I think this is not good for us as a country. We should look at the merits of it and look at the demerits and then weigh it. If it will benefit the society or the community in bringing peace.
Talking about the timing of this announcement and this piloting, especially at a time when there's been a series of conflicts in the country. So what do you think about the timing? And also, what response do you have for people that have vehemently rejected this idea?
Well, the issue is anytime there is a proposal or there is a plan by government on issues of this nature, people talk about timing. When is it appropriate? I think if we go back, you will recall that maybe last year or so, there was this issue of ranches for herders to come in. And RUGA, you see, the ranches actually comprise of RUGA settlement. It also comprises of facilities that will assist the herders in terms of looking after their cattle and also making it a kind of business, commercial, rather than roaming about. So to me, it's always better to do something now than to always think of, if you have a concept or if you have an idea and you have something, you plan for it, start it. You don't have to wait and say, because somebody, there are clashes here and there, you will stop. I think, in my opinion, I think the timing is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. If there are misunderstandings or clashes between farmers and herders, I think government should tackle that issue. But that is not to say we should abandon the issue of trying to modernize herders' activities or farmers' activities. And if you look at it, You know, over the years, because of development, because of urbanization, the land that was available for farming and also for cattle grazing has been reduced. Therefore, there is need for us to modernize farming and also to modernize cattle ranching.
Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, because of our time, I think we'll have to leave the conversation at this point for now. We'd really like to thank you for joining us on the program. We were speaking to the spokesperson of the RUGA Consultative Forum, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim, joining us from Abuja.